Hey guys, it is Coach AP coming at you through the video scope here in St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. And today we are going to be talking about the Western Kings, or the Kings of Western. This is the final stop on our under 18 AAA male tour.
I'ma make noise in the street, please. All the fake love you can keep.
All right, so before we get started, we always want to talk about our sponsor. We want to thank Supplement King, and we want to thank Massage Addict on Elizabeth Avenue for being great sponsors and being great partners with Vision Hockey Group over the past year. Thank you very much, you guys. So I'll have links in the description of both places and their social media in the description of this video. Be sure to check both companies out. They're both awesome. Go see Joey at Supplement King and Louisa at Massage Addict. Now, let's get into talking about Western. And this was a team that I didn't really know a whole lot about because Western is, as you know, if you live in St. John's, you live on the East Coast, the West Coast is like a different planet. I mean, they're over across the way. It's 6, 7, 8 hours to some of the towns over there. So I don't get a chance to get over there as much as I did in my playing days. So let's talk a little bit about last season. This was a pretty good team last year. They were under 500, but they struggled a little bit in the playoffs with Central. Central knocked them out of the playoffs, and I'm sure Mark Robinson and company are dying to get back to the playoff picture, into the Final Four, so to speak, in the under 18 male league. Mark will be back this year behind the bench. I think that is a plus for the players of Western. I think I've got a tremendous amount of respect. I seem to say that about every coach, but I do have a lot of respect for Mark Robinson. I mean, he was a guy that a lot of battles over the year, Clarenville, Grand Falls, when I played with Deer Lake, and Mark was always their star player along with many other guys, but Mark was always that face. I mean, just a tremendously gifted hockey player, and I got a lot of respect, a lot of wars won and lost with Mark Robinson. So you're very lucky, Western King players, to have a guy like Mark involved with your program. Okay, so Mark is back. I'm not sure who else is there. I'm not sure if Rob is there. If Rob is there, great. Another great guy for Western to have. If not, I'm not sure who else is there. The Park family does the management there. Two wonderful people. Jen, Dean, if you're watching, what up? Jen, you get those tangs ready. I'll see you later. Anyway, let's talk about a little bit about their players and who they have coming back. Let's start with Liam Dutcher. Now, this is a guy that I've talked about at length. Junior A teams adjust your volumes. I think this guy's a tremendous skater. I think he moves his feet well. He doesn't have great scoring touch. And you see the games and you're like, well, maybe it's just bad luck, but around the net, I don't think he's really gifted. But this guy sees the ice well. He's a good passer, good playmaker, and a good skater who's responsible in a lot of ways. And Mark Robinson loves him, and he's a very committed player, according to Mark. So Liam Dutcher, make a note of that name, Junior A clubs watching this video. He's a guy that they're returning. That's a big return for that program. They returned Ethan Hoff. I've seen some tape on him. I like him. Watch him play a little bit this week. I thought I saw him play a bit of D on the power play. It looks like a smart player. He's a righty. Another Junior A guy is an 04, so that's a guy that they are returning this year. They returned Colby House. They returned Noah Robinson. So I think he's going to be a force on their back end. I liked him last year on tape. And I think he's a guy, I think he was an Amherst camp, Junior A in the MHL. So I think you will probably see him back in camp next year with that program, barring he develops with the Western Kings or doesn't go elsewhere. So best of luck to you this season, Noah. So that's just a little brief overview of who they have coming back and returning. Reggie Pike, I can't forget Reggie. The Pride of Labrador, as the announcer would say. Another guy, I think he's probably going to be pushing in the top 10 in scoring this year. I think Mark loves him, and he's going to play him a ton. And I think he will be, when all is said and done, not the smoothest skater, but always around the puck. And he works hard, and he has a good motor, and he's pretty good around the net. So I think you're going to see a guy that will be in the top half of the league in scoring, maybe in the top 10 when the dust settles. Who's not coming back? Who's not coming back? I think that this team, they don't. It's not necessarily about who they don't have coming back as much as who they could have had, who they don't have. And this is a team that they do lose John Park to Yarmouth. Good luck, John. My buddies in Yarmouth, I think they're going to really like your playing style. Definitely a leader. I think he was the captain of the Kings last year, so they lose some leadership in their locker room and a good two-way physical player that's strong on the puck. He's an ox. I think Yarmouth fans are going to like him. Kyle Campbell, goal scorer, had a lot of goals for Western last year. Definitely relied upon offensively. But the guys that they could have had, Patey, who's in Boston this year at prep school in the U.S., and Marcus Kiersey is a big fish I think they would love to have in Western, but he chose to go to Rothsay Netherwood. I think Jeff Lewis and company get another top Newfoundland defenseman. Last year getting Matteo Rotundi, and they've had forwards such as Patrick Hurley and Bradley Blake over the past couple of years. So they have benefited from the Newfoundland RNS connection. And I wish you the best of luck, Marcus, but that definitely hurts the Western Kings blue line this season, as he is a top prospect for the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League season 06. I think he's a top 2, top 3. Some people say top 1, but I haven't seen him play enough to really say he's the number 1 clear-cut guy. So we will see. C'est la vie. I've got to do some homework on him. So we will be monitoring him as the season goes on. Who else did they lose? And they were losing Jake Vallis, one of their goalies. So that's going to be something. I think they lose both of their goalies, so they're going to have to restock the cupboard. I didn't see Michael Normer Wells' name on the sheet when I saw their roster, so that's another player that played a lot of minutes for them last year. Good two-way, scrappy, kind of competitive guy. So that's a loss for that program. So I guess they're young guns. I looked at the roster and I watched. This is the only video that I've done that I actually did this week after the Corner Brook games, because I just did not see Western play enough to be able to tell you who they have in their lineup. So I waited, and I waited, and hopefully this video is better than the one I would have made previously. They have some 06s in their lineup, and this was something some of these teams from out over the overpass generally have older lineups. This team is not like that, and neither is Central. Tri-Pin's a bit older, but Central and Western are young teams. They've got Joe Wiseman. He shoots the puck well. He's a strong kid. You just got to learn how to play the game under Mark Robinson a little bit better. But I think that this kid has some raw tools, and he is physical. He plays more of a throwback style. He's going to step up. He wants to take your head off out there. He's a physical, big boy, big, strong kid for an 06. You've got Andrew Mercer coming in. I'm pretty sure he's from Port Basque. So that's a guy that's played in the Hockey NL system and the HPP system. They have Carter Decker coming in. This team's got some young guys. The younger team than I thought they were. And I think that this is a team that we're going to have to monitor. They got Adam Lanswood as well, another guy who's, I believe he's on the under 16 watch list for Team Newfoundland. So these are some guys, these are some names, definitely guys that we have to monitor this season. I'm looking forward to watching these guys play all season. Now, because I know that they're a younger team, and where I work for the Quebec League, watching the younger teams is very, very important to see, okay, how these guys develop and move on. So where I see this team finishing, I think they're going to have a rough start. Based on looking at the roster and how young they are, not having Kiersey, losing John Park, losing Campbell, they have some good players coming back, but I think it's going to be a little bit overwhelming to those guys moving up like the Dutchers to really just carry that hockey club. I don't think he's going to be able to completely carry that team right out the hop. I think that they're going to have to slowly build under Mark Robinson and be a team like what Central was last year, where it was, okay, rough start, took our lumps, took our growing pains, and then as the season progressed, they picked up and got harder to play against, and in the playoffs, they upset someone. I think that that's what Western are going to be striving for this year, and I think that they're more than capable of accomplishing that. So I think it's going to be a tough start for the Kings, but as time goes on, I think that program is going to get better, and I'm more looking forward to watching this team now than I did before, just knowing that they have a younger team, and I got a feeling that Mark will really want to develop some of these younger players and give them opportunities to succeed. Okay. Best of luck to all teams. I wish you all the best. And we will be talking, we'll have a little, next video will be under 18 players outside of the female one. If you're to talk about under 18 male, we're going to be talking about some of the draft eligible guys for the Quebec League and why we think they should be drafted. We've done a video like this before, but this is going to have a little special spin on it. So stay tuned, like and subscribe to our channel. I'm gone.